the picture. So they're abusing the fact that they need to play defensively at one point.
Yeah, definitely, right? Like we talk about how Team Stallions, I would say the Flying Cloud earlier just now definitely helped, elongate the game earlier just now. We also talk about how in game number 2, Flying Cloud was the one that actually allowed Team Stallions to defend all the way to 29 minutes. And because Kingdom Esports unable to end the game right there, and they ultimately got bitten.
I think King Esports right now shifting up the strategy a little bit. That usually is, bans targeted onto one, but they are respecting Diablo's Rizhong and Bray's Eastern Shin. They want to try to open up that land slot. For the side of Stallions, though, banning out the Alice, banning out the Baxia. Typically, they also favor the CC as well. Like, they want to try to ban out that CC, take it away from the hands of Grant.
Baxia and Lisbon, like what you mentioned, and now it's just we're just going through the list. The Eastern Shin ultimately got punished as well in game. Kingdom got punished by the Eastern Shin earlier just now.
The Grok finally doesn't see the light of day. This is Kingdom Esports' plan all along. Typically, it would be the high loss or the Gato Kacha that Stallions will ban away from Lawsy. So without the Grok now, is it going to be the first game that won't see the rock wall being built up?
Yeah. The Grok offered so much value, especially when you're going in with a Harif and the Zaman Force as well, offer the damage. CC first pick for the side of Kingdom Esports right off the bat. That's something that, I also realized that Diablo hasn't played a single CC at all, right? If he wants to go for a CC, he prefers an Xbox instead.
Yeah, especially the true damage that the Xbox dishes
Yeah.
out. And it's pretty standard. Like, once you don't have the assassins, the either two assassins, you can just lock in that CC. Typically, Stallions could pick up the Gatot and the Farsa themselves, unless they want to go for more utility. The Jusin or the Kimmy would be a better choice. I think Kimmy is right now the best choice of Mage, just because of the versatility, just because of the wave clear, and just because of the crowd control that she brings to the table. So Fredrin,
for the side of Bray as well, this is going
locked
back.
in.
Yeah. And the Lunox to also protect the Fredrin early just now. Curtain Code is definitely, Yo-Yo Blitz is definitely going to shred through the Fredrin, but I like what Stallions is going for. They're going to go for a Fredrin. Then after that, they go for a Lunox to basically protect the Fredrin. That means that, Diablo is definitely going to go on the offensive right now. Expect, I don't know, the likes of Martis coming up again, the likes of, I don't know, Benedetta coming back up again. If Stallions wants to earn some style points.
It's always a trade, right? Especially for the jungle and EXP of Stallions. So there's going to be the Yve as well as the Gato Kacha. I don't think a Granger would be a right pick for the side of Stallions. They will pick up the Kalea, so single target setups coming in from Stallions themselves. And I think for Kingdom Esports, though, I still feel like they've been playing a lot of fighter side lanes recently.
Yeah.
I wouldn't discount the fact that Grant wants to pick up the Ruby once again. I don't think it is a very difficult kind of approach, because they still have some sort of sizable damage with the CC as well as the Yve, so they have some sort of protection from that as well.
Yep. Now, don't forget the real world manipulation by the side of MMM. The Brilliance is going to counter everything on top of that, and with the mobility, Lucian Cutie is definitely going to be piloting that clear. But this is kind of interesting ban patterns coming out from the side of Amox. Banning away the export, is that going to be potential clear EXP lane like what Vendetta likes to do?
Man, it's too early to say.
Yeah,
it's too early to
I'm
say.
jumping the gun
It might
right
be
here.
it might be an EXP lane Fredrin for all we care, for all we know.
Sorry, I coughed there.
I mean,
A bit of a throwback to Adamir.
yeah. I remember that one. Yep.
All right.
That was the match.
Let's stop beating the dead horse, all right? Let's go for the new horse. Kingdom Esports right now bans away the Claude as well. Still cutting off as many gold laners as possible. But Renza has been playing like, the Grangers, the Harif as well. I think Renza is more than happy to, play something else new. Look at him. He's up to no good.
Yeah. I think a bit more shreddy would be good if they like to play zone control. I wouldn't discount the fact that the Lunox might even be able to go into the gold lane.
Yep.
And then they could pick something up that would, accelerate the growth of that Lunox.
Now,
But then too much magic damage. Yeah, it's a bit tough.
Now, talk about the bans. Apex focusing onto the bans for the side on the gold laners. Do you take out the Granger here?
Granger wouldn't do too much with that one. Too much high mobility. There's a lot of burst, but then you're risking it because there's a lot of targets. As a Benedetta being banned out is a respect. I think they want to pick up their Benedetta themselves.
Man. I mean, like, if I could see it from a mile away, definitely Kingdom Esports
I could
have
smell
that
it
in
too,
mind.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, what do you do if you're Diablo?
We always seen him like in these off-meta picks. What about the Diablo Badang?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
go crazy with that.
I think Badang right now in this particular patch, not something that Diablo would want to go for.
Yeah.
But do you pick Renza here for the side of Stallions? Knowing how Stallions or Amox like to do this, I feel like they always love to hide Diablo's picks. all
Yeah,
the way to
Diablo's
last.
always last pick. Yeah.
Yep.
Unless
Experience.
that's the Granger. Okay. I think he's
something
more
meta.
comfortable with the Granger. I'm not too fond of the damage that the Granger dishes out to the tanks. I think a tank shredder would work much better, but then they don't really have a lot of side lane pressure or side lane insurance. And I feel like the Moskov would have been a much easier pick to navigate around. Fanny's open though. Will Kingdom Esports pick that one up? And then you destroy the Granger on the side lanes.
The thing right now is just making sure that Kingdom Esports, making sure Yon has a great game, right? Like
Yeah.
earlier just now, when the Lancelot was being selected for Yon, Yon was having the time of his life just standing onto Stallions, right? But now, what do you go for? Right now they want to play it right inside the
Moscow,
circle.
Wait, who's that's gonna be the Uranus
jungle.
Yeah, Yon's played it before, but it wasn't a great success. Like early game, definitely, the Uranus does a lot of work, but in the late game, there's not a lot of crowd control that Kingdom Esports can bring, and then you're funneling every resource over to Moskov. So Stallions right now has to find a way to control this Moskov in the late game.
Yeah,
or send someone off.
Yeah, but now you also drop a Uranus right into a Lunox, right? You're gonna get shredded immediately, very easily, and not. While you do well against the Granger, in a sense, you can zone them out. I'm not too sure about this. I'm not too sure about this Yon Uranus because the last time I seen him playing this was it what community team?
Oh, that's a Badang. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Going signature. This is game and match point for Stallions, though. They want to play it safe, and they're going back to basics right now.
Yeah, both these two teams, right? Like, I'm glad that Kingdom Esports finally went for a Moskov in the gold lane, right? Something that's, for the side of Kingdom Esports, they've been playing fighter side lanes over and over again, and now, at Tournament Live, they pulled out the Moskov. Yes, this is interesting for the side of Kingdom Esports, but Moskov wants to stay away from the team fights and then split push. But you're looking at the rest of the four from the side of Kingdom Esports. Is that enough damage to deal with Stallions, though?
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. It's all down to execution. We can hypothesize all we want, but then again, it might turn out like game number 3. But then again, I love the fact that Diablo's bringing out one of his signature, the one that put Singapore on the map. This is game 4 between Kingdom Esports and Team Stallions, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, going to game number 4, ladies and gents. Potential last game for Kingdom Esports. Stallions looking to upset, climbing from the challenger brackets, and here they are, one step away from the lower bracket finals.
We're taking things slow for now. Team Stallions SG doesn't want to make too much of a move. The power spikes really come from Roy. He did play a very almost near perfect kind of Lunox in game number 1. Right now, in game number 4, the difference in pattern is you don't really have 2 fighter side lanes that you have to deal with. You have to find a way into the Moskov. So the flicker is getting picked up right here. Oh, Lucian Cutie taking a lot of damage though. It might be first to fall.
Yep. Ooh. Buzz the flicker in the last moment. Should be up for the next turtle fight, but it's a very slow one, right?
Yeah, Roy getting zoned out and away. But the early game, definitely Kingdom Esports has the upper hand. You got a lot more damage from Yon as well, even though he's in the jungle. But will Kingdom Esports learn from their mistake in game number 2 and try to increase that aggression over the Team Stallions, though.
FMM delaying Roy's back, that's definitely gonna hurt Roy in terms of the EXP gains, right? So, which means that we can potentially theorize that Stallions may have a delayed or not a very good turtle fight going into the first turtle.
Yeah, but the Flying Cloud is gonna bring him over to lane pretty effectively. Taking a look at the atomizations right here, does look like the Granger definitely going for the core items right off the bat. It looks like Team Stallions making a beeline as well.
A lot of movement speed, a lot of movement boots already selected, especially right now, you know, after the next patch. The boots actually, I would say, got buffed, right? So, which means that you escalate very quickly in the early parts of the game. And now look at Team Stallions focusing mostly, they'll be able to find Lozy. Oh, they just collapse. FMM real world manipulation. Roy picks up the first one. Insanity goal brings Diablo down. And now it's also going to be the real world manipulation for the side of FMM. He thinks that Bray gets melted.
3 down for the side of Team Stallions. Kingdom Esports blitzing this turtle down. But then again, I think FMM created a great box. Team Stallions can't find a way to reach back onto FMM. The Yeve was doing so much in this first skirmish.
Yep, the real one manipulation right there just literally zones out any form of reinforcement, slows down the fight against Team Stallions. And don't forget, remember what I mentioned, Roy earlier just now, because of that delayed back, actually hurt them in terms of that engage just slightly. Like Uranus having a great time, right? The Uranus and also the Yeve is an age-old combo, making sure everybody stay within the box and FMM literally burn the horses down.
I think as this game goes a little bit later, I think Team Stallions definitely will have that setup potential that Badang will bring to the table. And it's a lot easier for Team Stallions to create opportunities for themselves. Bray just there as well to kind of hunker down and set up that chain stuns that, you know, Fredrin is known for. But the rotations really have to come in soon.
Yep. Taking a look at the items very quickly. It is also Granger, you know, Stanley pick up the cure items right here. Stanley's actually, oh, hold on a second, Brilliant's already popped. Lucian Kitty's only at level 3.
Yeah, still in level 4. They're trying to delay his ulti, delay the Tsunami Slam as much as they can, and I think they're doing a very good job on that one. 47 seconds until the tortoise spawns up once again. I think for Team Stallions though, the Badang really has to get the rotation going. We haven't seen a Badang in the EXP lane as often though.
That taunt misses Insanity, able to jump away. Had that taunt land, Diablo is definitely going to go all the way in. But now, it's just going to be Stallions right here. They're, technically speaking, they're in fighting form because Lucian Kitty just hit level 4. But Kingdom Esports, though, they do have momentum in their favor. Diablo spamming the fist against Insanity, but nothing is landing.
Might be a full damage Badang that Diablo likes to play around, and Bray's just going full tank. So that's the seesaw moment that Team Stallions likes to play around. Yep. Insanity just one more hit away. As Team Stallions cycling themselves up, Tortoise spawns up.
Yeah, pushing that EXP Elena away from the side Kingdom Esports definitely helps Team Stallions in terms of the chances right here. They have to really try to blitz down the turtle right here, but Yo has something else to say. He just walks all the way in. The Tsunami
goes pullback!
Bray secures the turtle for himself. The Moskov with a spear tries to join the fight. He will go in as Kingdom Esports. They punish against Stallion in that turtle fight.
All 5 members were right there. Even a Moskov throwing the SOD and landing it down, taking Bray down with him. Lorenza still having the rotation up to try to clear up that mid wave. Yep. Team Stallions, though, even though they're struggling, I don't think that this is too far a difference or too far a gap that Kingdom Esports has on top of them.
Lozy in the vicinity. Diablo forced to use the ultimate right there to wave clear on top of that. Lucian Cutie tags onto Lozy. We'll be able to find it, but it's going to be the jungle fight right here. The 2 tanks coming in. Renza will be there to unequalize that fight. The Praises Rev goes down, but Yawn just laughs.
Yawn actually used the retribution away from the little turtle, little purple creep. So Team Stallions.
Oh, that's a very aggressive item.
Yep, that's Blade of Fantasies. That is a very, very Diablo build, if I could say so myself. Typically, you want to go first item Thunderbelt and then try to scale up to the late game. At least you have 2 scaling or 3 scaling heroes. Roy with the darkness.
Lucian Cutie.
Oh, that's a Purify.
Yep, did bait that out, but Lucian Cutie doesn't really use the Tsunami Slam as well. Lozy lands an AOG Tsunami Slam.
Oh, that's SOD.
And Lucian Cutie down low, just a little bit more. Insanity opening damage. Grand fights Lucian Cutie.
It's 5 deaths on top of 1. Team Stallions They're playing on the defensive. You don't have 5 members yet. Kingdom Esports is ramping this up, though.
Yep.
They have the aggression, they have the movement, but Lawsy taking a lot of damage. Renza just slow free hitting from that back. Box is already built.
Real one manipulation. The presence rap finds Ozzy, though. It's going to be Bray. The taunt right there will be able to find it. Roy stepping forward with the Brilliance, and all of a sudden, Stallions actually pushing back against Kingdom Esports as Roy picks up and now that Bray stepping forward as well. Just zoning 3 members with the side. Kingdom Esports down.
Team Stallions playing back from the dead, using flying clouds to their advantage. They love this map, don't they? Now the turtle will go over the hands of Team Stallions once again. Yawn not there, and we see a lot of fallback from the Uranus. So once it hits that late game mark, oh, yes! So they want to play.
That is illegal.
What a beautiful spear!
Oh my god, that's so illegal.
But that was beautiful. That was so beautiful. No intelligence, no vision, and just pure instincts. Lawsy trying to trap Renza, though.
And all of a sudden, the Stallions is actually getting trapped. Renza going down right there. Amazing pickup by the side of Kingdom Esports. That spear took over by surprise.
And they have the upper hand once again. Kingdom Esports, 1,000 gold lead. Team Stallions still. Even Stevens, as Bray struggling to keep afloat on top of Yawn.
Oh, man. I'm still recovering from that spear right there. That's completely blind. There's no information, and all of a sudden, that literally knocked the air out of Stallions just a little bit because they needed that turtle to basically increase their momentum, and now got denied by Grant.
Well, not only caught us by surprise, I think catching Bray out of surprise as well. But Team Stallions, we have been in this situation before.
Bray. Down low just a little bit. Lucia Goody trying to pick up as well, but real world manipulation actually a little bit too shallow. Unfortunately, the spear does land, but Stallions will not be able to find any form of pickup. They did receive a few bunch of damage, but Diablo is not in the vicinity as well in that fight.
Speaking of damage, FMM is really starting to hurt. That's the glowing wand as well.
That's items though.
That is going to be the DHS next build. It's typically the Blade of Heptases, the DHS. I feel like if he wants to, he could go for the Sky Piercer if he is very, very greedy. But this is pretty much a tit-for-tat seesaw kind of a Bray and Diablo synergy.
Yep.
If we're talking about
Bray stepping forward. Ton will be able to find Yawn, but that's not the main target. This is not the person that they're looking for.
One of the members is shredding this Fredrin down, and the concealed play coming in. Lawsy read that like an open book, instinctively dashes away. Lord spawning up in 5 seconds. Team Stallions away, trying to maintain that wave priority on the bottom side. You have that Moskov, though. They know where Grant is, but they don't want to risk it too much. The SOD could be able to initiate that team fight as and when he wants.
But what is Stallions' play right here? They're on the back foot for like the past 9 minutes. There's a bit of an opportunity for them to take the turtle. It got denied by Grant. Lucia Kid to try to pick up. Oh, they may be able to pick up Yawn right there, but FMM more than happy to take that. The AOG for the side of Lawsy. They're fighting inside the box. The Bray, Abrasive's Wrath, not good enough for the side of Kingdom Esports as they will go in ham as Moscow just shred the damage on the bottom slide. They're taking way too much away from Stallions.
The synergy between Lawsy and FMM, creating that box, using the AOG to pull everyone into the box so that he does that damage. The utility Eve is not so utility anymore. That is a monster. That is what you would expect to see in an elimination match like this. The power really comes through.
Yeah, Kingdom Esports looking to equalize that score right there. And literally, like what I mentioned in the draft, this is an age-old roster. A Yves, a Uranus, you add that Gato Kacho right there. Everybody fights inside the box. Stallions is trying to get out of the box.
You know what's worse? Right now, Braze is left all alone, trying to pull himself back up. That's the AOG into the fray once again.
That's deny FMM onto that. Using the Darkening, Roy's able to find these angles. Insanity attacks on the Roy, unfortunately. And Yawn right here, the SOD does land. We'll be able to find it. That's a shutdown for the side of Grand. This SOD is starting to get a bit too much for Stallions to handle.
There's a Trinity already built up by Grant. That's the damage really coming through from this Moskov. Good find by Roy, but it's not enough. Bray is unable to handle the damage that the frontliners bring to the table, and Kingdom Esports is going to blitz this down. Yawn's already in the picture. Lawsy shoving everyone out of the way.
Scout out, and now there's no SOD. Renza, you are not a Moskov. Go home. And literally, Jinsanity is also doing that as well. Lucian Goody try to push Jinsanity away, saving Renza for now. This is Kingdom Esports picking on the Lord for themselves.
Curtain call already used up as well. Kingdom Esports has been in this position once before. There's a 3,500 gold lead for KE. Team Stallions, though, they do have high ground defenses, and they really like to play around this flying cloud. So if they want to play defensively, they can. They can go passively. They can try to bait out all that offenses and the damage coming in from Kingdom Esports. But Diablo really has to show up right now.
Bray cannot step into the box. Stallions need to think outside the box. Sorry, play outside the box. Literally, because like FMM is just setting up all these traps and catching one after another. All of a sudden, Team Stallions is just going to fall. Diablo unable to find the damage onto the backline is actually starting to hurt.
Oh, good pull, good slam.
Slam will be able to find Uranus Lozy, though. Lozy's more than happy to take that one. Roy
Bray
goes in for the darkening form. FMM burns Bray where he stands. And there's still a Lord marching down bot.
Not looking so good for Team Stallions. Bray definitely gonna get a little bit mental at this point. Every single time he gets trapped down and everyone wasting their resources on him, Team Stallions can't even get close once that box is built up. Everyone's just trying to get away, but they're all trapped in and pulled back in by Lolzy. Good zonal control by Kingdom Esports.
Right now, it's just the Lord literally penetrating down bot already for the side. Stallions on the back foot once again. Diablo, you're greedy.
Oh, that's a Sky Piercer. 0-2 and 2 with the Sky Piercer. I think it does make sense at this late game mark because you don't really need to spend a lot of resources. But Bray,
Yawn is more than happy to step forward. Bray, Tonda, Razor's right will not be able to land. Grant picks up the kill. Diablo goes on the back line, will be able to fight Grant, but Grant dealt unfortunately not enough damage for the Sonic Kid. Stallions will basically push back. Kingdom Esports still 5-man strong.
That's a clutch win of nature from Grant. You're soaking up that damage, it's not enough. Diablo!
Oh, Kingdom Esports definitely going for the winning march right there. They're looking to equalize the real world manipulation coming in as well.
Burnt down. The SOD goes
going in as well. Stallions desperately try to hold.
It's just one against the world. The Kingdom Esports, they're not going down without a fight. We're going into a game 5.
We're going the mile with this series. Kingdom Esports and Stallion. They don't go down without a fight. A revitalized revolve these for the side of Kingdom Esports. They seek to fight again.
What a performance. What a show of maturity and chemistry from Kingdom Esports, though. They had the upper hand, and there is sort of like this narrative to the story. Every single game that we watched so far, it was the losing team coming back. Every single time. Early game, it felt like, you know, Team Stallions had the upper hand. They had all the tools and the resources to deal a lot of damage. But in the late game, it just feels like FMM's box was just way too much. Every time that is set up, Bray goes down.
Literally, right? And you can see how the members of the side of Stallions, they're literally trying to flank the FMM over and over again, right?
Yes.
Roy also tried to do that, but over the sudden it's just there's way too many CC stacked into keeping, you know, the members of the side Kingdom Esports into that box.
Yeah.
Like, even after, you know, Stallions tried to go for a Hail Mary play with a Badang damage as well, that is not good enough. Badang on the damage is a little bit wonky in this patch.
Huge shout out to Drin Sandy, the MVP of the game, 3-1 and 10. And the CC was just so underrated. He was struggling in lane against the Badang, but at the end of the day, it's a team sport after all. He's just zoning everyone out, especially Renza, he's soaking that damage up. He's trying to pull him back down. He's dealing that damage. He's dishing everyone out, and that zonal potential from the CC. And that's why it's always that first pick prio.
Things start to get a little bit wonky ever since that Moscow steal, man.
Yeah.
Like, you can see the pathing for the side. Stallions is all over the place. The Badang was trying to do some split pushing happening, trying to pull the members apart, but the Badang is unable to reinforce as quick enough as, you know, the likes of an Esmeralda, the likes of a Khalid as well. But yeah, unfortunately, Diablo wasn't able to perform with the damage Badang.
I don't think it's a problem with the draft. I don't think it's a problem with the build. I think it's a problem with the execution. And I think in esports, read Diablo like an open book. If it's a 10 Badang, it would have been it would have been so different, because right now you don't have the double side lanes that are trying to be greedy for damage. You also have a little bit of tank ability from the Badang as well. But the Winner Nature came in clutch, especially for Grant. Once he's built that, I think Diablo from the side lanes and finding the right angle really doesn't hurt. to him at all. And typically for the Badangs, if you want to go for tanks, you get the concussive blast. You also get a little bit more of the oracles and thunderbells, so that at least you maintain that scaling potential. But right now, there's not a lot of scaling potential, and Diablo bought the Sky Piercer way too late. And yes, it's a cheap item with a little bit of decent attack damage power or high adaptable attack damage power, but in the late game, I don't think it's enough, as Kingdom Esports has 4 purifies. No, 3 purifies. So everyone just gets out of harm's way.
Yeah, all the battle spells are green.
Yeah.
Literally, right? Like, it's very hard to catch, and that they're just waiting for Diablo to pounce onto him. And not only just that, right? I think Kingdom Esports, in my opinion, definitely win draft. In my opinion, my bad, Churros. I don't mean to really contradict you right there, because if you take a look, if everybody, as long as Kingdom Esports traps somebody from the side of Stallions inside that box, there's almost no escape. And on top of that, Grant can also always easily land the SOD so easily, reinforce the fight. I fight within the box. I'm able to deal a lot of damage against the enemies.
I think, look at FMM's damage down, and I echo you 100%. Every single time the box is being built up, Bray just melts down.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's the work of Insanity or if it's FMM, but the utility that you build up. And typically, like in the past, if you play a Fredrin, you build you draft a Valir against that. So you push Fredrin away.
Okay.
Remember that
Yeah.